notifications, we'll notify him at the phone. And
we're here for Women's Day with Amrita Raichand, host of Being Amrita. Amrita, thank you so much for being with us here today.
It really is my pleasure indeed. Excited about today actually.
So first, tell us about the channel, your YouTube channel, Being Amrita. How did that start? How did you start that?
First of all, I want to wish everybody, and especially the women out there, a very, very, very happy International Women's Day. Although I genuinely believe that this day has to be celebrated every day. Women are special, women are amazing. So I think it's a little unfair to just leave that one day for us. But nonetheless, it's a day of celebration, just like we celebrate our birthdays only once a year. All special things happen once a year. So happy Women's Day, everybody. And yes, now coming back to your question, Being Amrita was actually it's actually my little baby, because somewhere I felt that it was important for me to go out there and show everybody and share with everybody a lot of information, a lot of things that I've been planning as recipes, because I somehow feel that cooking is beautifully celebrated in our country and abroad, of course, but somehow simple cooking is something which people think doesn't exist. So I think my agenda in life is to kind of break down all complicated recipes and make it simple, because considering it's Women's Day, it's an apt discussion for today. Women have so many things to do, and they do it by choice. Nobody's forcing them to do. We women love multitasking. We love to do so many things. We want to take care of our children. We want to take care of our family and our careers. So it does get very tough for them to be a superwoman in every sphere. So we can be superwomen, but hey, there's no harm in simplifying our lives, right? So that's my whole idea, and that's why Being Amrita Chef and Beyond came into picture. I collaborated with Ping Network, which I must say has helped me so much. Come up with great ideas, come up with great playlists, and we're working together as a team to help not only women but everybody receive beautiful, easy recipes, and to really make them understand that if you go into the kitchen, you'll be able to do it, baby.
All right. Now, you said multitasking. All right. Now, you've managed a balancing act that a lot of people find very difficult. You've managed a demanding career and a full and fulfilling home life. How do you do that?
Everybody does it. It's just that because perhaps I've got a little bit of limelight, you see what I do. But as a woman, I think we're damn lucky. We've got that inborn quality, capability, aptitude, whatever you may call it. We just know how to multitask, and I've seen it in my own house. My mother-in-law, who doesn't work. The number of things she does. She keeps looking at me with awe and says, "Oh my God, you do so much." And I just look at her and I say, I wish she knew that I can only do so much, because she is doing so much more. Looking after the home, the family. So every woman, and well, I'm not a feminist, so I'm not somebody who really harps about only women. I know a lot of men who do a lot of work as well. There are single fathers out there who also know how to multitask. So in your head, if you know that you enjoy doing these 4, 5, 7, 25 things, you'll be able to multitask.
Right. All right. Now let's talk about one of the tasks in the many things that you must have to do through the course of a day and through the course of a week. How do you go about planning your meals for your kids?
Oh my God.
Ensuring nutrition, keeping them interested in the meal, making sure they don't toss their plate.
No.
How does that happen?
A tossing plate has never happened in my house. I can be the proud flag bearer for that one. I hope I'm not talking too soon. But coming back to menus, the entire grudge of my family, by the way, is that I don't make a menu. They've been after me that make the menu, it just makes it easier for you and for the domestic help at home, for all of us. But and it's a good thing and a bad thing, I'll tell you that. Making a menu really helps in planning in advance. You can keep the health factor in mind. You need to give some protein, some carbohydrates, good quality carbohydrates, not just carbohydrates. You need to have some vitamins, minerals. So depending on all the requirements of a child or as an adult on a day-to-day basis, you plan an interesting menu. Now, when you go back to the reverse with me, what happens is I can't plan so much in advance. I mean, I don't know what I will wake up wanting to cook one day, or what my son, God forbid, maybe a little under the weather on Wednesday when I have planned this lovely chicken stroganoff meal for him. So then what happens? Of course you can alter at that time. But why I'm saying all this is that all those women out there who get pressured, okay, let me make a menu. It's okay. If you make a menu, great. I have to learn some tips from you. But if you can't make a menu, just make the menu for the day. What I do is in the morning, I decide my entire meal plan for the entire day. I know what breakfast my son needs. And you see, with at least my son goes to school. With younger kids, that's not such a big thing. My son wakes up really early in the morning. He needs a meal initially, and he's a real sporty child. So I need to give him something which gives him a boost of energy in his mid break. So it has to be a snack. So it'll usually be like a homemade granola, or sometimes I will, if there's a biryani left from the night before, I will make a lovely burrito for him, which will have nice mix of carbohydrates, vegetables, and chicken. And I usually make the raita as the base of the burrito, and it just makes for a really fun snack and a great boost of energy. So you just apply your mind to these little things, and just a little bit of creativity. Whatever you have in your house, the vegetables that are there in season and in your fridge at that point, you use those things and create a menu for the day.
Nice. All right. Now let's move from the dining table to the kitchen. All right. Amrita, for everyone.
Mostly in the kitchen.
Now, for everyone who's watching, Amrita, what are your top 3 kitchen hacks for the busy mom?
Okay, so these I've worked out on. Actually, I don't need that now. Last night I was sitting and making these little tips, and there are 2-3 things which I think can really make your life easy. So one is a spice mix. What I do is I take equal parts of dried herbs, or you can just dry fresh herbs and they become your dried herbs. Take equal parts. So for example, whatever you have, okay, whatever you have. Don't go out to a fancy supermarket and spend loads of money. You could just do it with nice dhania or mint. And if you're wanting to do something else, you can take equal parts of thyme, oregano, parsley, and just at least 5 spices. Put them together in equal parts and keep it handy in a bottle. A lot of times you can just marinate anything with this, and it just gives a beautiful flavor and makes your dish really exotic. And you say, oh, wow, this is a nice exotic. And all you have done is prepared that spice mix and added to whatever you're cooking. So that's one really interesting thing. Also, what I do, whether you call it a kitchen hack or your day-to-day hack, is candied fruits. Now, candied fruits are very easy to do. You just take any fruit of your liking. You can take apples, strawberries, plums, and just dry them out in the oven, or put it out in the sun for some time, or dry it out in an oven at very low temperatures, about 35 to 40 degrees centigrade, and just leave it out for a few hours, and you will get these beautiful candied fruits. They just taste like candies. As women, we're always running around working, you drop your child to school, then go out and work. What I do is I always carry this in a small little bottle or a dabbi and go out with it. Whenever your body craves sugar, because around 11, 12 is when you get really hungry, and invariably our hands go to something which is sweet. Mostly it's chocolate or the artificial sweets that are available. Instead of that, just pick up your candied fruits and you've got something really amazing to go for it. Also, apart from the spice mix, also trying to do, if you do these little marinades that are very easy to do. You can take some 2, 3, 4 cloves of garlic, take a tiny bunch of parsley, and you can add some lemon juice to it if you want. And what really pumps it up is zest of lemon, of 1 lemon. Add some olive oil to it and grind it nicely. You can do it in you can either chop it finely or you can grind it. Add some extra virgin olive oil and you have a beautiful marinade ready. Now this You can use it for making a roast lamb. By the way, talking of roast lamb, I have a lovely episode of roast lamb with this marinade. It's called the gremolata. On Being Amrita, you can see this recipe. All I did was just marinated the lamb with this marinade and of course some salt, and slow roasted it for about 45 minutes to an hour, a little more than that, in the oven. So not only for lamb, you can use the same marinade for chicken, for paneer, for just stir frying vegetables. You can just use this marinade and stir fry vegetables on high heat. Always fry vegetables on high heat, as in stir fry vegetables, because then it will not release too much of the moisture and your vegetables will not get too soggy. So this is again a good tip and a great marinade to do. So these small little kitchen hacks, what happens is when we go out to restaurants and stuff, we eat food thinking, my God, this must be really fancy. But when you really come down to cooking it at home, you realize they're actually very simple little tricks that you can do and create really nice fancy food in your own kitchen.
Nice.
And quickly. That's the most important thing.
Now you talked about one of your episodes just now. Tell us what's coming up next on Being Amrita.
What's coming up next on Being Amrita? Well, we have just launched our new playlist, which is of jams and spreads. What happens is we are so used to in our head that a few things are only available in the market. Of course, there are great stuff available in the market, but somehow we don't kind of pull ourselves back and say, hey, can we make this at home as well? And I tried these few spreads at home. My son loves anything to do with chocolate. Well, who doesn't? Most children do. So chocolate hazelnut spread is his favorite. And I said, why can't I do it at home? And well, I did it. You just have to get some good quality dark chocolate. You get your hazelnuts, and you just mix it. I have that recipe coming up on Being Amrita, so I'm not going to give out the recipe right now. So you have something to look forward to. Then I recently made strawberry jam, and that episode is out there on Being Amrita. That's in fact the first episode of our dips and spreads section. And jams are also a great way of preserving fruits. So like strawberry, I love strawberries. Everybody in my house loves strawberries. So they're going out of season. So what do? You quickly grab whatever is left of it and make a nice big bottle of jam and enjoy it through the season. And you will be surprised how easy it is to make strawberry jam. So the recipe is out there on Being Amrita, Chef and Beyond. Please check out the strawberry jam recipe and you'll really figure out how easy it is.
Nice, so lots to look forward to and lots already there on the channel.
Yes.
Now, I don't mean to be a gossip monger. Alright, I'm trying not to be, but I've heard from the grapevine.
Says that. And
I've heard from the grapevine, I've heard from people and friends that you are writing a book.
Yeah, did you hear that?
I know people who know people who know people.
There are just about 5 people who know that, and I'm going to catch them after this. The reason I'm not talking about it is because I'm really nervous about the book. This is the first time I'm attempting something like this. I have some really lovely friends and family members who've been encouraging me to do this because and the whole thing came up with every time I sit with my family or friends, I'm always bubbling with ideas and I say, this we can do it, we can make this. And my aunts call me from Delhi and forever and say, listen, darling, I have a dinner tonight, what should I make it? And on the spot, I create something for them and give it. So everybody has been pressurizing me to kind of put everything down in a book, and I have started working on it. There's a big conflict already going on because I want to make it really in a very conversational book. I want to share a few anecdotes from my life and share some really wonderful easy recipes for children, for adults, taking care of all sorts of categories of requirements, whether it's for children or adults. See, this is what I do. When I talk too much and then I give away everything.
Leave something for the book.
I'm leaving something for the book. So yeah, I'm working on the book to cut a long story short. And please pray that I actually manage to finish it. And it's my goal of 2017 that by the end of the year, hopefully, I must have it out. And with all your blessings and support, I hope I'll do it.
We wish you all the best, and I'm sure the book's going to be absolute bestseller.
Thank you.
All right, now Holi's coming up this weekend. Something planned? Anything happening? Something for our viewers to look forward to?
Yeah, a lot. In fact, just after this Facebook Live, I'm going to start making in the big office itself the recipe for Holi, which is. Should I give it away? Should I tell everybody what the
I
recipe
think
is
you
going to
should
be?
tease it, maybe just a little bit, a
Tease it,
hint,
yeah.
a hint.
Okay, so the hint is it's very colorful, but don't think Indian for a change. It's going to be something which is a little more exotic, but then I'm Indian, my heart is Indian, so I have to add an Indian touch to it. And of course, it's going to have the Holi, feel to it. It's going to have one of the most important, what should I call it, ingredients or recipe which you have. I think everybody has this on Holi, but what I'm going to combine it with, that you don't have it for Holi. So this time you're going to have it because I'm going to come out with this really fun recipe, and we're going to start. We're going to release it just a couple of days before Holi, so you have enough time to prepare. And let's see. I hope you like it.
Make good use of that long weekend with that recipe.
Yes.
All right. Amrita, what's happening offline? Final question to you. What's happening outside of the YouTube channel? What's happening in life? Anything
What
that
do
you're
you
looking
want?
forward to?
What do you want my offline life to be? This is what's happening.
It seems
offline.
amazing because it seems like you're always cooking delicious food and helping out your friends. It sounds fun.
You know, it does sound fun, but I was the other day just talking to my husband and I said, you know what? Earlier when I was just modeling and acting, I used to just go out there, get an assignment, work, and come back and put my feet up and just, enjoy the moment. But now I work even when I'm not working. So it's, but I'm not complaining because it really is very enriching. Being a chef in the last 3 to 4 years, being only a chef in the last 3 to 4 years has really made me grow as an individual. The kind of knowledge every day I'm researching. Every morning after my workout, I sit down, I start studying, I start researching, then I start cooking at about 11 o'clock in the morning. I start cooking and I'm cooking till about 4 to 5. So all my girlfriends are complaining because I don't have time for those girly lunches which I used to so love. But then I find time to have breakfast with them at times.
All right. Now we have a few questions coming in from our viewers
Okay.
today. One of the questions is, what was your first dish as a chef and how old were you when you made it?
So I have become a qualified chef about 4 years ago. My first dish that I ever made was the aloo bindi chokha at home. At that time I was no chef. I was just my mama's chef. I was about 8 or 9 years old perhaps. First I got a big shellacking from my mother for putting the gas on and attempting a recipe like this.
Oh, she
And
didn't
then
know
I got
you
a-
were trying?
No, not at all. She'd gone to work and I just wanted to impress her because my mom is a working mom, single mom because my father passed away when we were very young. So I used to it really used to pain me that she works also, she comes back and cooks. So I just kind of wanted to get in the kitchen and do something, to make her feel special, and I did this. And after getting the shouting, I got a huge help. In fact, that recipe is also out on the first playlist of Being Amrita. It's called the Aloo Bindi Chokha, and that playlist in fact talks about my entire life through different recipes. So it's very interesting.
Now, another question our viewer has posed and comes back to something you said earlier. What food can you recommend when your child is under the weather? You talked about this
Yes.
throwing off a good meal plan.
Yes, that kind of really bothers me, and sometimes I just go in front of my pediatrician and chew his brains, and he tells me to get out. I hope he's watching this, so he knows I've complained about it to the whole world. But the reason why he says that is that, as mothers or as parents, I think we just get too het up about children falling sick. So when I tell my pediatrician, my child, why does my child fall so sick? And then I also add, I said, I'm a chef, how can my child fall sick, So he says, you people don't understand what is the meaning of sick. Is your child in hospital? Is he, God forbid, is he, undergoing an operation or something? He says, well, that is called being sick. If he gets a regular cold and cough and he gets a little, running stomach, don't just get so het up about it. So basically what you need to do is at that point is, the reason I said it because I know as a mother I get so I thought along with giving you the tip of what to make, I'll also tell you, don't panic. Children fall sick, it's a natural, normal thing to happen, and they're like flowers, they murjhao and then they blossom right back the moment they get enough, enough fueling in their body. So three important things to keep in mind when a child is sick. And I'm kind of going to broadly give these guidelines. You have to keep the child properly hydrated, which means a lot of fluid. Now, my son, sometimes when he's sick, he doesn't want to have water. So what I do is I make a little sharbat for him. I put a little nimbu, little, it's a very simple thing. But instead of giving them, a salty or mineralized water from outside, you can add some salt, sugar, a little lime juice. You can add a little orange juice to it, and pep it up a little, and just feed them even through spoons or whatever. When it comes to food, you can give them the regular khichdi. And what I have started doing sometimes is making the khichdi, instead of putting regular water, I use chicken stock. Or you can use vegetable stock also. It just bumps up the flavor a little, and the protein in the chicken stock kind of gives a little energy also to the child. Of course, curd is a great probiotic, and that, whether the child is sick or not sick, you must give a lot of dahi to the child. What I do is to feed dahi to my child, I add some gur to my yogurt. Instead of buying flavored yogurt from outside, I add gur to the yogurt. Sometimes I make a smoothie of fruits, the fruit that he or she can eat at that point, and I add it to the yogurt, and I feed that to him, because it's again wholesome, it's full of calcium, full of protein, and the probiotic is kind of helping you recover.
Our next question is from a fan who's asking, what keeps you looking so beautiful and refreshed all the time? Let's talk about what you do for yourself now.
About a few years back, somebody told me that you can only help your family, or you can only look after others if you are fit. And I think that somewhere went and sat in my head. It's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good, it's about feeling fit. So I am an early riser. My son wakes up at 6, and I like to be there when he's going to school. I like to be torturing him when he's going to school. Eat this, don't eat that. Have you packed your bags well? I'm kidding. I just want to be around my son. So since I wake up early, what I do is I go, at the moment I drop my son to his bus stop, I go and I work out. I'm right now a part of a boot camp in Bombay Gymkhana, and there's a nice, healthy bunch of friends who get together, and we really torture our bodies in a nice way, and it's outdoor, so you're getting the nice sunlight and the fresh air, and there's greenery all around. So I think that has been really helping me. And of course, I call myself a workout nomad, whether it's a workout or it's the gym or it's Pilates or it's yoga or it's just walking, on Marine Drive, or the clubs that I am a part of. US club is where I love to go to get some nice fresh air. I think that really, really helps to keep yourself. So as a mother, as a woman, or as an individual, I think it's very important to keep yourself fit. Half an hour of your daily life has to go in yourself, okay? No matter how busy you are, everybody can take a break from you, because you need to give yourself a break too. So half an hour to 45 minutes, if you can spare an hour, well, that's amazing. Okay, so that's about workout. About eating, I think I'm a little particular about my diet, especially after 6 o'clock. I don't like to eat very heavy food, so I'll just eat nice protein-rich foods, salads, soups, and I keep it light in the evening, and no desserts after 6 o'clock. So all of you who have a sweet tooth, kind of control it at least after 6 o'clock. Have your dessert in the day, but control it after that. And finally, most importantly, just be happy. Be content and be happy, and you're going to glow all the time.
All right, our next question is, of course, is less of a question, more of a request. Again, keeping to what can you do for yourself. We have a request asking, can you do more healthy recipes for women on your channel? Is that something that's going to be part of future programming on being Amrita?
Are you listening to it? I've been saying it, that we have to come up with a playlist. And did you say moms or did you say for
For healthy women.
For women.
Yeah,
right?
for women.
Okay, so we'll call it for women, but it will be for everybody. It's going to be a healthy playlist, and we're thinking of a name. Why don't you all suggest a nice name for that playlist? I think by next month I'll be out with some really fun, healthy for sure, but they will be tasty and most importantly, it'll be really, really quick to make, because that's the need of the hour, and you will have that, I promise you.
All right, I think that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for
Okay.
being with us, Amrita. Happy Women's Day again.
Thank you so much. Happy Women's Day to all of you once again, and all the men out there. Pamper your women, not only today but every day. All the women out there, do pamper the guys also at times, because they also need some, don't they? Thank you for joining me here, and if you have any more questions, keep writing in and we'll answer them as and when I can. Bye.